Could there be a link between myth and the rituals performed in an ancient city buried by disaster? Recent excavations in Pompeii's northern region have led to an astonishing discovery: a hidden temple dedicated to Hercules, where rituals of power and mystery were once practiced. Were these rituals acts of reverence, or did they serve a more cryptic purpose in the lives of those ancient worshippers? Step back in time as we delve into Hercules Temple with mysterious rituals just discovered in Pompeii's northern region. A new discovery: mysterious rituals linked to Hercules Temple. Pompeii is an ancient city that was previously frozen in time and has always caught the fancy of historians, archaeologists, and curious minds. Situated near the Bay of Naples in Italy, Pompeii was a thriving Roman city until a catastrophic event changed its fate forever. On a fateful day in 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted with a ferocity that caught the inhabitants of Pompeii off guard. The eruption spewed volcanic ash, basalt, and toxic gases high into the atmosphere. Within hours, the bustling streets and vibrant homes were buried under meters of volcanic debris. The sudden burial preserved Pompeii in a state of suspended animation. Unlike other ancient ruins subjected to weathering and human interference over millennia, Pompeii remained encased in ash. The entire buildings, from grand temples to modest homes, have been found intact. Everyday objects like pottery, tools, and even food have been discovered exactly where they were left. Casts of human bodies provide hauntingly detailed insights into the final moments of Pompeians. Pompeii, buried under volcanic ash from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, was rediscovered in the 18th century. Serious excavations began in 1748, led by Spanish engineer Roque Joaquín de Alcubierre, marking the beginning of systematic archaeological efforts. Recently unearthed secrets at Civita Giuliana have added layers to our understanding. Archaeologists have uncovered artifacts suggesting mysterious rituals linked to Hercules Temple. This discovery not only enriches our knowledge, but also deepens our appreciation for the complexities of Roman religious practices. Before we delve into the discoveries proper, let's shed more light on Hercules. Hercules was a hero so powerful and revered that his legacy permeated the very fabric of the Roman Empire. He was a figure whose tales of strength, bravery, and divine heritage have captured imaginations for centuries. His significance in Roman culture cannot be overstated. He was not only a mythological titan, but also a central figure in religious practices and societal values. In Roman mythology, Hercules, known to the Greeks as Heracles, is portrayed as the son of Jupiter, the Roman equivalent of Zeus, and the mortal woman, Alcmene. This divine lineage bestowed upon him extraordinary strength and courage, qualities that positioned him as a protector of mankind. Now to another interesting find. The excavations at Civita Giuliana have uncovered an extensive villa complex that provides a vivid depiction of life during the peak of the Roman Empire. The lavish estate, believed to have belonged to a wealthy family, showcases luxurious living spaces, intricate mosaics, and paintings that reveal much about the artistic tastes of its residents. However, this site is not defined solely by opulence. Evidence of farming activities and servant quarters offer valuable insights into the daily routines and social structure of ancient Rome. Since you know who Hercules is and what he signifies, let's talk about the discovery. The enigmatic Temple of Hercules in northern Pompeii. Let's journey to the northern edges of ancient Pompeii, where a temple full of mystery and grandeur awaits. This is no ordinary temple. It is the Temple of Hercules, a sanctuary that whispers tales from Roman mythology and religious practices. This temple has fascinated historians and archaeologists alike. Its exact location, revealed through careful excavation efforts, is just outside the city's main roads, providing an almost secluded retreat for worshippers. This suggests it was a place meant for deep rituals rather than casual visits, a sacred space away from the busy city life. The air feels different here, heavy with an aura of sacredness and ancient power. The Temple of Hercules stands out due to its unique architectural features that signify its importance and distinctiveness among other Roman temples. Its colossal columns greet visitors with an imposing presence. These massive structures are not just support beams, but symbols of strength, much like Hercules himself. Intricate carvings adorn these columns, depicting scenes from Hercules' legendary exploits, his battles with mythical creatures and his feats of strength. Every detail carved into stone tells a story, inviting worshippers to relive the hero's adventures each time they enter the sacred grounds. The altar, located centrally within the temple's inner sanctum, is another focal point. Crafted from marble and embellished with gold leaf accents, it stands as proof of the reverence held for Hercules. Surrounding the altar are paintings rich in color and detail, portraying various deities alongside Hercules, an artistic chorus celebrating divine might. Additionally, the temple's layout differs from typical Roman ones. It has multiple chambers for different aspects of worship. One chamber holds relics, believed to be offerings from followers seeking favor or forgiveness from Hercules. Another chamber appears to have been reserved for priests who conducted elaborate ceremonies away from prying eyes. Walking into these chambers feels like stepping back in time. Every artifact and structural element offers a glimpse into the spiritual life of ancient Romans, who venerated Hercules not just as a hero, but as a god-worthy figure. These were not the only artifacts found in the temple. Other items were also discovered, and we will update you on all of them. A ceremonial chariot, fit for a god. Of the many artifacts found, one stands out like a diamond in the rough, a ceremonial chariot. This isn't any old vehicle. It's a masterpiece of ancient craftsmanship. It's a chariot, adorned with intricate carvings and vibrant colors. The design was intended for grand religious ceremonies, not for everyday use. This chariot likely was crucial in rituals honoring Hercules. It may have paraded through the streets during festivals for the hero. The way this chariot was built tells us a lot about Roman creativity. Though worn over time, its wooden framework still displays detailed carvings depicting mythological scenes. Iron fittings and bronze decorations, plus another layer of splendor, reflect the high status of such ceremonial objects held in ancient Roman culture. This discovery alone provides invaluable insight into the ceremonial practices and artistic achievements of the time. Mythological paintings, windows into ancient beliefs. If you thought the chariot was impressive, wait until you hear about the mythological paintings that covered the temple walls. These paintings are more than just decorative art. They are vivid stories painted in colors that have remarkably stood the test of time. Each fresco depicts scenes from Hercules' legendary tasks, battles with mythical creatures, heroic deeds, and divine encounters. One particularly striking fresco shows Hercules wrestling with the Nemean lion, his muscles straining with effort, capturing a moment frozen in time. Another shows him receiving divine help from Athena, illustrating his favored status among the gods. These images were not merely ornamental. They served as visual narratives reinforcing Hercules' divine nature and his importance to worshippers. Ritual artifacts. Additionally, ritual artifacts such as votive offerings and altars inscribed with dedications to Hercules have been uncovered. These objects provide tangible evidence of devotional practices carried out by residents and visitors alike, hinting at rituals that might have included prayers, offerings, and possibly even theatrical reenactments of Hercules' feats. Interestingly, some of these ritual artifacts bear a resemblance to amuletic objects found in late antique Italy and Sicily. Such findings could suggest a broader cultural context for these practices, linking them with similar traditions across different regions. Items like these offer a more personal look at how individuals interacted with their deities on a daily basis. The presence of coins indicates offerings made by worshippers seeking favor or expressing gratitude to Hercules. Pottery fragments hint at communal feasts or sacrificial meals shared in honor of the god. A somber discovery. The excavation around the Temple of Hercules unveiled numerous skeletons, each telling a story carved in bone. These remains were not only from the temple's elite patrons, but also from enslaved individuals. Human remains found in this archaeological context are crucial for understanding the social stratification prevalent in ancient Rome. The presence of enslaved quarters near such a significant religious site suggests that slavery was deeply intertwined with both daily life and religious practices. Examining these human remains helped archaeologists decode the social structure of Pompeii. Skeletal analysis revealed the age, health, diet, and even occupations of these individuals. Further studies of these remains found near the Temple of Hercules by the archaeologists brought to light some chilling look into the social dynamics of Roman society. They reveal a complex web of power, servitude, and survival. These details paint a vivid picture of two distinct classes living side by side: the privileged temple attendants and the enslaved workers who sustained them. The discovery of enslaved quarters adjacent to the temple site sheds light on the living conditions endured by those in bondage. These quarters often consisted of cramped, poorly ventilated spaces with minimal comforts, a stark contrast to the grandeur of the temple itself. Artifacts such as simple pottery, worn tools, and personal items found within these quarters provide tangible evidence of their daily existence. Burnt animal bones. One of the more fascinating discoveries around the temple has been the unearthing of burnt animal bones. These remains, found both around and within the temple grounds, have provided archaeologists with compelling insights into ancient Roman rituals and societal practices. The presence of these bones suggests that animal sacrifice played a significant role in religious ceremonies dedicated to Hercules. Archaeologists have meticulously analyzed these burnt bones, revealing a wealth of information about their significance. The remains predominantly belong to sheep and goats, animals commonly associated with sacrificial rites in ancient Rome. Their selection hints at specific ritualistic purposes. The way these bones were burnt indicates they were part of a ceremonial offering rather than mere waste disposal. This suggests a deliberate practice aimed at appeasing deities. Alongside the bones, various artifacts such as ritual vessels and remnants of food have been found, suggesting that these sacrifices were part of larger communal feasts or gatherings. Personal items. Archaeologists have unearthed a variety of personal items that explain individual lives in ancient Rome. These items tell us about the aesthetics valued in Roman society and provide clues about personal relationships and social connections. Some of these personal items include cosmetic containers. These small jars might seem trivial, but they indicate that beauty rituals were an important part of daily life for both men and women. The contents could range from oils to powders, suggesting that self-presentation was significant even in ancient times. And let's not overlook coins found alongside these containers. Each coin has its own significance. Perhaps it was used in a transaction at the local market or offered as a dedication to Hercules himself. The presence of various coins can also hint at trade routes and economic conditions during that period. Another finding is pottery fragments, and this has provided archaeologists with remarkable insights into dietary habits and culinary practices. Different styles of cooking pots suggest what types of food were prepared and consumed within these households. Some pieces reveal remnants of meals left behind before the eruption, a direct link to what Romans enjoyed eating. Tools and implements found near the temple further illustrate the everyday workings of ancient life. Metal tools like chisels and hammers indicate craftsmanship, while agricultural implements speak to the farming practices that sustained the community. Another twist to these findings, according to the archaeologists, is that these personal items may have religious significance. For instance, some pottery pieces might have been used in ceremonial practices dedicated to Hercules, perhaps for offerings or libations. Glimpse into daily rituals. Beyond these grand artifacts and smaller items found within the temple, let's talk about the significance of these findings and take a dive into how these daily rituals were done in this temple. Pottery fragments, coins, and votive offerings scattered around provide clues to the everyday activities that took place in this sacred space. These items suggest that the temple wasn't just reserved for grand ceremonies, but was also a site for regular worship and community gatherings. One of the most intriguing aspects of worship at the Temple of Hercules involves sacrificial banquets. These ceremonies were not merely about appeasing the gods. They were grand events that brought communities together. Imagine lavish feasts where offerings were prepared with meticulous care. Animals such as bulls, goats, and sheep were often sacrificed, their blood considered sacred, and their meat shared among worshippers. This communal feast was believed to ensure favor from Hercules, aligning human life with divine will. Central to these rituals were priests and priestesses who acted as intermediaries between mortals and deities. They led elaborate prayers, chants, and hymns designed to invoke Hercules' protection and strength. Their roles extended beyond mere ceremony. They maintained temple grounds, cared for sacred objects, and interpreted omens. The discovery of various priestly artifacts within Civita Juliana underscores their crucial role in maintaining religious order. Sacrificial ceremonies weren't limited to animal offerings. Archaeological finds reveal an array of symbolic offerings such as pottery filled with grains, fruits, and wine. Each item meticulously chosen for its symbolic significance. For instance, wine symbolizes vitality and divine blessing. Grains represent fertility and sustenance, and fruits are seen as tokens of abundance. These items were placed at altars within the temple precincts or buried as votive deposits, signifying a perpetual bond between worshippers and their god. The presence of wine in this temple has further opened the eyes of the archaeologists that Hercules and Dionysus may have had something in common in this temple. Have you ever wondered how the mighty Hercules might share the stage with the god of wine and revelry, Dionysus? It turns out that in ancient Roman culture, these connections run deeper than one might initially think. The divine duo, Hercules and Dionysus. Hercules, known for his incredible strength and heroic deeds, is a prominent figure in Roman mythology. However, his connection to Dionysus, a god associated with wine, fertility, and wild celebrations, is fascinating. Both gods were widely worshipped throughout the Roman Empire, but often in different settings. Hercules was admired for his physical abilities and moral courage, while Dionysus represented the more indulgent aspects of life. Interestingly, archaeological finds at Civita Juliana, and specifically near the Hercules Temple, have unveiled evidence suggesting that rituals dedicated to Hercules occasionally overlapped with those of Dionysus. For instance, some artifacts feature images linked to both gods. A particular set of ceremonial vessels found at the site depicts scenes from Hercules' labors alongside imagery traditionally associated with Dionysian festivities. Ancient texts hint that certain festivals might celebrate both deities. The blending of these celebrations could signify a shared cultural or religious significance during specific times of the year. The connection between Hercules and Dionysus is not merely superficial. Their attributes complement each other in various ways. While Dionysus is synonymous with wine, which Romans believed could bestow temporary superhuman strength, Hercules represents enduring physical power. This duality might explain why some ceremonial practices involved offerings of wine to Hercules as well. Also, in many cultures, fertility symbols are intertwined with heroism. Hercules' numerous romantic escapades and offspring echo themes fundamental to Dionysian worship. Beyond wine, artifacts offer tangible evidence of how these gods were worshipped together. For example, paintings discovered within the temple precinct showcase narratives where both deities appear together. These artworks serve as visual storytelling tools linking their mythologies. Further evidence suggests that altars used for sacrifices were sometimes dedicated to multiple gods. An altar uncovered at the site bears inscriptions honoring both Hercules and Dionysus, indicating simultaneous worship. These discoveries highlight a broader trend in ancient Roman religion known as syncretism, the merging or assimilation of different religious traditions. Romans were adept at integrating various deities into their holy place, often creating hybrid forms of worship that suited local customs or societal changes. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. In a mysterious region, archaeologists found an amazing discovery near Pompeii. It has sparked new curiosity. An ornamental chariot with detailed bronze and tin work was found near the old city's ruins. This chariot, buried under volcanic ash for almost 2,000 years, was probably used in processions and ceremonies, like weddings. It offers a fascinating glimpse into life in ancient Rome. The careful excavation lasted for weeks. Specialists hurried to protect this unique artifact, including its intact floral decorations. A newly found temple in northern Pompeii, linked to secret rites, is challenging our understanding of Roman practices. What other hidden truths lie in this historic city, waiting to be uncovered? Is it possible for them to change the course of history as we understand it? Please share your opinions in the comment section. Other mysterious rituals linked to Hercules Temple. When we explore the rituals connected to the Temple of Hercules, it becomes clear that there's a world of mystery and tradition that continues to intrigue historians and enthusiasts alike. The ceremonies held at this temple weren't just routine acts of worship. They were filled with symbolism, mystique, and community engagement that reflected the deep reverence people had for Hercules. Imagine nighttime ceremonies where the temple would glow with the flicker of torches, casting shadows on the stone walls as priests conducted secretive rituals under the stars. These gatherings, masked in chants and offerings, created an atmosphere heavy with reverence and mystery. The idea of connecting with Hercules under the cover of the night undoubtedly added an element of the supernatural to these ceremonies, leaving participants both awed and connected to their deity. Hercules was also seen as a protector, and his temple became a sanctuary for those seeking healing. People would come with hopes that the hero's strength could be channeled into cures for their ailments. Special rites involving water, herbs, or other natural elements, believed to hold magical properties, would be performed in his name. The connection between Hercules' legendary strength and the belief in his power to heal made these practices a vital part of the community's spiritual life. Interestingly, some scholars have suggested that reenactments of Hercules' 12 labors were woven into the temple's festivities. Picture locals donning costumes and taking on roles from the famous myths, reliving stories of strength, courage, and adventure. These performances weren't just entertainment. They were a way for the community to engage with their shared heritage, bringing the tales of Hercules to life and reinforcing the values he represented. Purification rituals were another essential aspect of worship at the temple. Before any significant ceremony, offerings like flowers, grains, and small animals were likely used in rituals meant to cleanse both the space and the individuals involved. This emphasis on purification highlighted the deep respect and devotion people had for Hercules, ensuring that all acts of worship were done in a state of purity and reverence. The temple didn't just focus on solemn rituals. It was also the center of celebrations that honored Hercules' legendary strength and virility. Festivals likely featured athletic competitions and feats of strength, allowing participants to pay tribute to Hercules through displays of physical prowess. These events fostered community spirit while reflecting the hero's godlike attributes, creating a sense of unity and shared purpose. Finally, beyond traditional sacrifices, worshippers often left symbolic offerings that represented personal struggles, aspirations, or victories. These items were more than mere tributes. They were heartfelt gestures, allowing individuals to connect with Hercules in a deeply personal way. Whether it was a token of gratitude or a plea for assistance, these symbolic offerings added a unique dimension to the worship experience, blending the collective and individual aspects of devotion. Preserving history, ongoing restoration efforts for the Temple of Hercules. To keep this historical gem intact, extensive restoration efforts have been underway, led by the Ministero della Cultura, Ministry of Culture. Current restoration projects include structural reinforcement. The first step in preserving the temple is ensuring its stability. Engineers and archaeologists have focused on reinforcing the temple's foundational structures. This includes strengthening weakened columns, using advanced materials that blend seamlessly with ancient stone. Also, walls have been stabilized to prevent collapse through careful reinforcement techniques. These measures are crucial to prevent further deterioration and to maintain the temple's integrity for future generations. Pompeii faces numerous environmental threats, such as erosion, weathering, and even modern pollution. Restoration teams have implemented several protective measures, such as weatherproofing, hence applying specialized coatings to protect stone surfaces from rain and wind damage. New systems have been installed to manage water flow and reduce erosion around the site. These initiatives not only preserve the temple, but also ensure that visitors can enjoy it without causing additional harm. Talking about the preservation of artifacts, measures have been taken to ensure that artifacts found within and around the temple are conserved. Conservationists work tirelessly to restore paintings using meticulous techniques to bring ancient wall paintings back to life without altering their original essence. Also, extensive conservative measures have been implemented for ceramics, tools, and personal items found at the site, ensuring they remain in pristine condition. The Ministero della Cultura collaborates with various international experts and institutions to pool knowledge and resources for more effective restoration practices. This collaborative approach not only enhances technical expertise, but also fosters a shared commitment to preserving Pompeii's cultural heritage for future generations. But despite all these conservation methods in use, certain challenges are being faced by archaeologists. Challenges faced in preserving the Pompeii findings. The preservation and conservation of Pompeii, a site of immense historical significance, presents a range of challenges for the Ministero della Cultura, Ministry of Culture, and the dedicated archaeologists involved. From natural threats to human activities, maintaining the integrity of this archaeological treasure has never been straightforward. One of the most pressing challenges lies in resource allocation. Securing adequate funding for restoration projects has always been a tough task. The preservation of a site as vast and complex as Pompeii is a financial burden that requires consistent support from both governmental and private sources. Without such backing, vital conservation efforts risk being underfunded, potentially leading to the irreversible loss of significant historical structures. But funding alone isn't the only concern. Balancing tourism with preservation has become an ongoing dilemma. Pompeii attracts millions of visitors each year, which is crucial for the financial sustainability of preservation efforts. Yet, the foot traffic, while economically beneficial, puts immense strain on the ancient structures. The Ministero della Cultura faces the difficult task of allowing public access while safeguarding delicate sites from wear and tear. Another challenge that persists, despite legal frameworks in place, is looting. Protecting archaeological sites from illegal excavations and preventing the smuggling of priceless artifacts remains an uphill battle. The Ministero della Cultura must constantly adapt and enforce laws to protect Pompeii's heritage, yet enforcing these protections on such a large scale proves difficult. On top of that, environmental threats loom large. Weathering, erosion, and even seismic activity continue to endanger the site's integrity. The ministry's challenge is to implement protective strategies that do not interfere with the historical authenticity of the site. The role of education and public awareness is equally important. Ensuring both locals and tourists understand the significance of respecting and preserving Pompeii is a critical aspect of long-term conservation efforts. The Ministero della Cultura must consistently promote and encourage better preservation practices through effective educational campaigns, as public cooperation can make a substantial difference. Archaeologists, on the other hand, face their unique hurdles. Many of the structures they work to preserve are in a deteriorated state due to long-term exposure to air and moisture after being buried under ash for centuries. Stabilizing these fragile structures while continuing excavations is a meticulous and delicate process. The excavation itself is no less challenging, requiring careful planning and precise execution to avoid damaging the very artifacts they seek to uncover. Handling fragile materials, sometimes millennia old, demands both skill and innovative conservation techniques. The complexities of their work don't stop there. Collaboration with experts across disciplines, whether they be conservationists, geologists, historians, or architects, is crucial, yet such teamwork can be tricky to manage. Differences in methodologies or priorities can create friction, but successful projects rely on effective interdisciplinary coordination. As discoveries continue to emerge, the challenge of managing the sheer volume of data collected becomes a growing concern. Archaeologists must ensure that every piece of information is meticulously recorded, all while integrating new findings into the existing body of knowledge about Roman life. Lastly, modern interference can also be a roadblock. The surrounding infrastructure sometimes obstructs excavation efforts, with utilities or existing buildings making it difficult for archaeologists to access certain areas. Adapting methods on the fly in response to such disruptions is often necessary, adding yet another layer of complexity to an already challenging task. Despite these many obstacles, the work continues, as both the ministry and archaeologists strive to protect and reveal the stories hidden within Pompeii's ancient ruins. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.